Welcome to Lesson 7.10 of the Grant Architect course. In this lesson, we explore dissemination planning, the systematic approach to sharing evaluation findings and project results with audiences who can use them. Dissemination extends impact beyond direct program participants by enabling others to learn from your work. Many funders now require dissemination plans, recognizing that lessons learned should benefit the broader field. Effective dissemination requires identifying target audiences, selecting appropriate channels, timing communication strategically, and presenting findings accessibly. Dissemination is not an afterthought, but an integral project component deserving careful planning. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how to develop comprehensive dissemination plans that fulfill funder expectations and maximize the impact of your work. Dissemination involves strategic information sharing. The definition is spreading information to target audiences. Dissemination is active, not passive. It means deliberately getting information to those who need it. Purpose is ensuring knowledge is used, not just produced. Evaluation produces findings. Dissemination ensures they matter. Without dissemination, evaluation is incomplete. Audiences include funders, practitioners, policymakers, researchers, and community members. Different audiences need different information in different formats. Scope goes beyond required reports to active sharing. Funder reports are not dissemination. Active outreach to multiple audiences is. Quality improvement applies systematic methods to enhance processes and outcomes over time. Unlike evaluation, which assesses merit and worth, quality improvement focuses on continuous enhancement through iterative testing. Quality improvement and evaluation can complement each other, with evaluation informing what to improve and quality improvement implementing and refining solutions. Dissemination matters for several reasons. Maximize impact because good ideas should spread. If your program works, others should know. If it does not work, others should learn from that too. Funder expectations include that many funders require dissemination plans. Federal funders increasingly emphasize dissemination, included in proposals. Field building contributes to collective knowledge. Your findings add to what the field knows. Dissemination shares your contribution. Accountability shares what you learned with stakeholders. Communities, participants, and partners deserve to know what happened. Dissemination respects their contribution. Driver diagrams organize improvement theory by linking a primary outcome to primary drivers and then to secondary drivers and specific change ideas. Primary drivers are the key factors that directly influence the outcome. Secondary drivers are more specific factors that influence primary drivers. Change ideas are testable interventions hypothesized to affect secondary drivers. The structure makes improvement theory explicit and testable. Plan-do-study act cycles structure iterative improvement through systematic testing of changes. The plan phase identifies an improvement opportunity, develops a theory about what change might produce improvement, and designs a small test of that change. Planning should specify what you will do, who will do it, when and where it will happen, and what data you will collect to learn from the test. The do phase implements the plan test on a small scale while documenting what actually happens, including unexpected events and observations. The study phase analyzes data collected during the test, compares results to predictions, and summarizes learning about what worked and what did not. The act phase decides next steps based on learning. Options include adopting the change if successful, adapting the change based on what was learned and testing again, or abandoning the change if unsuccessful and trying a different approach. Multiple rapid cycles generate more learning than single large implementations. Root cause analysis investigates why problems occur rather than just identifying that they occurred. Surface symptoms may have multiple underlying causes requiring different solutions. The 5 whys technique repeatedly asks why to drill down from symptoms to root causes. Starting with a problem statement, ask why it occurred. For each answer, ask why again until reaching fundamental causes that can be addressed. Fishbone diagrams organize potential causes into categories such as people, processes, equipment, environment, and materials. The structured format ensures comprehensive consideration of possible causes. Pareto analysis identifies the vital few causes accounting for most of the problem. The 80-20 principle suggests roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. Focusing improvement efforts on the vital few maximizes impact. Root cause analysis should involve people with direct knowledge of the process under examination. Written dissemination products require attention to quality, accessibility, and strategic positioning. Well-crafted written products extend your project's influence long after the grant ends. Report structure should organize content logically with clear sections that readers can navigate easily. Executive summaries, tables of contents, and section headers help readers find what they need. Consider your audience's needs when structuring reports. Writing quality matters for credibility and readability. Clear, concise prose communicates more effectively than jargon-filled academic writing. Edit carefully. Consider having communications professionals review products for accessibility. Visual elements including figures, tables, and graphics enhance written products. Visual presentation of data can be more memorable and accessible than text descriptions. Ensure visual elements are clear and properly labeled. Accessibility considerations include reading level, formatting for screen readers if digital, and translation into languages spoken by target audiences. Products that are inaccessible to target audiences fail their purpose. Branding and design should be professional and consistent. Products represent your organization. Professional appearance enhances credibility. Templates can ensure consistency across products. Run charts display data over time to reveal patterns and trends. Points represent individual measurements plotted chronologically. The median serves as a center line. Rules identify non-random patterns suggesting special causes. Shifts occur when 6 or more consecutive points fall on one side of the median. Trends occur when 5 or more consecutive points move in one direction. Runs are consecutive points on one side of the median. Conference presentations reach professional audiences. Venue selection matches conference to audience and findings. What conferences do your target audiences attend? Where would your work fit? Proposal timeline requires planning far ahead for major conferences. Many conferences require proposals 6 to 12 months in advance. Plan early. Presentation types include papers delivered individually, panels with multiple presenters, posters displayed in sessions, and workshops offering interactive engagement. Choose format based on content and audience. Networking at conferences enables relationship building. Presentations start conversations. Follow-up matters. Failure mode and effects analysis proactively identifies potential failures before they occur. For each process step, identify what could go wrong, how likely it is, how severe consequences would be, and how detectable the failure is. Prioritize risks using a combination of likelihood, severity, and detectability. Develop prevention strategies for high-priority risks. This proactive approach prevents problems rather than just reacting to them. Statistical process control provides tools for distinguishing normal variation from signals of meaningful change. All processes exhibit variation even when operating normally. Control charts display data over time with calculated control limits showing the expected range of normal variation. Points within control limits represent common cause variation inherent to the process. Points outside control limits or patterns like runs and trends signal special cause variation indicating something has changed. Control charts help avoid two errors. One error is treating common cause variation as if it signals a problem requiring investigation when it is actually normal noise. The other error is missing special cause variation that signals real change requiring attention. Different control chart types suit different data types. X-bar and R charts work for continuous measurement data. P charts work for proportion data. C charts work for count data. Select chart types appropriate to your measures. Digital and social media extend dissemination reach. Websites include project pages, resource libraries, and blogs. Websites provide permanent, accessible locations for resources. Social media includes Twitter, LinkedIn, and professional networks. Social media spreads information quickly and widely. It reaches beyond traditional professional channels. Video includes project overviews, testimonials, and how-to content. Video content engages differently than text. It can be powerful for storytelling. Reach through digital channels expands beyond traditional professional audiences. Community members, journalists, and general public may access digital content. Benchmarking compares performance against standards or high performers to identify improvement opportunities. Internal benchmarking compares performance across units, time periods, or processes within an organization. External benchmarking compares performance to other organizations or published standards. Benchmarking processes include selecting metrics for comparison, identifying comparison sources, collecting and analyzing comparative data, identifying performance gaps, and developing improvement strategies. Meaningful benchmarking requires comparable metrics measured consistently. Differences in definitions, populations, or methods can make comparisons misleading. Understand what comparison data represent before concluding your performance is better or worse. Benchmarking against high performers can identify best practices worth adapting. However, practices that work in one context may not transfer directly. Understand why benchmarks succeed and adapt principles rather than copying practices wholesale. Dissemination timelines should align with project milestones and allow adequate time for product development and distribution. Realistic timing ensures dissemination actually occurs rather than being squeezed out by implementation demands. Early dissemination opportunities include presenting project design and preliminary findings at conferences, sharing implementation lessons through practitioner networks, and posting project descriptions on organizational websites. Dissemination should begin early rather than waiting for final results. Ongoing dissemination throughout the project maintains visibility and shares emerging findings. Blog posts, newsletter articles, and conference presentations can share progress and lessons learned during implementation. End-of-project dissemination typically intensifies as final findings become available. Plan adequate time for report writing, presentation preparation, and other products. Rushed final products are lower quality. Post-project dissemination may continue after grant ends. Journal publications often appear after project completion. Some organizations continue sharing project lessons through ongoing professional activities. Dissemination calendar should identify specific products, target audiences, channels, and timing for dissemination activities. This calendar helps ensure dissemination receives attention throughout the project rather than only at the end. Spread involves extending successful improvements to additional contexts or populations. Spread challenges differ from initial improvement challenges. What worked with dedicated early adopters may not work with skeptical late adopters. Spread strategies include identifying and supporting champions, creating learning collaboratives, developing implementation packages, and providing technical assistance. Monitor spread to identify adaptations and ensure quality. Sustainability of improvements requires attention beyond initial implementation success. Many quality improvement gains erode over time as attention shifts to new priorities and implementation drift occurs. Sustainability strategies address multiple levels. At the process level, standardize improved processes through documentation, training, and integration into routine workflows. Make the improved way of doing things the default rather than an extra step. At the measurement level, continue monitoring key indicators to detect deterioration early. Dashboard displays keep performance visible to staff and leadership. At the leadership level, maintain attention through regular review of performance data and celebration of sustained gains. At the culture level, embed continuous improvement as an organizational value, not a one-time project. Staff should expect ongoing refinement as normal rather than resisting change. Presenting dissemination in proposals demonstrates that you will share your work effectively with audiences who can benefit from it. Funders want their investments to generate broad impact. Target audience identification shows you have thought about who needs your findings and how to reach them. Name specific audiences and explain why they matter. Generic "we will share with stakeholders" is less compelling than specific audience identification. Product description identifies what you will create. Reports, presentations, briefs, publications, and digital content should be named with enough detail that reviewers understand what you plan to produce. Channel strategy explains how products will reach audiences. Professional conferences, practitioner networks, academic journals, organizational websites, and social media are examples. Match channels to audiences. Timeline presentation shows when dissemination activities occur throughout and after the project. Visual timelines can display dissemination alongside other project activities. Avoid plans that concentrate all dissemination at project end. Resource allocation in your budget should visibly support dissemination. Reviewers can check whether your budget matches your dissemination promises. Ensure alignment between plans and resources. Impact potential explains why your dissemination will matter. What decisions might your findings inform? What practices might improve? Connect dissemination to broader impact. Measurement for improvement differs in important ways from measurement for research or accountability. Research measurement prioritizes validity and precision even if data collection is slow or expensive. Accountability measurement prioritizes standardization and comparability across organizations. Improvement measurement prioritizes timeliness and actionability even if some precision is sacrificed. Good enough data available quickly support rapid learning better than perfect data arriving too late to guide action. Improvement measures should be directly linked to improvement goals. Operational definitions must be clear and consistently applied. Data collection should be sustainable over time to track trends. Balance comprehensiveness against burden since too many measures dilute attention and overwhelm capacity. A small set of meaningful measures monitored consistently outperforms extensive measurement that cannot be sustained. Let us summarize the key points from this lesson on dissemination planning. Dissemination extends project impact by sharing findings with audiences who can use them. Many funders now require dissemination plans and expect systematic approaches to sharing results. Target audiences vary from policymakers to practitioners to researchers to community members. Identify your priority audiences and tailor dissemination to reach them effectively through appropriate channels. Dissemination products range from comprehensive reports to brief summaries to visual products to digital content. Different products serve different purposes and audiences. Plan a portfolio of products matched to your audiences. Written products require attention to quality, accessibility, and professional presentation. Well-crafted products enhance credibility and reach. Journal publication follows specific processes with long timelines. Start early if publication is expected. Dissemination timeline should distribute activities throughout the project rather than concentrating at the end. Early and ongoing dissemination maintains visibility and shares emerging lessons. Budget appropriately for dissemination, including personnel time, production costs, travel, and any publication fees. Underfunded dissemination plans will not be implemented as proposed. In our next lesson, we will explore how AI can assist with evaluation design and writing evaluation sections of proposals.